What's up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. I want to talk to you about AMC and APE today. Now, we all know probably by now that the date set for the vote on the AMC reverse split and the conversion is March 14th. So, time is running out. I want to talk to you about a strategy you may have never thought of, and it's really, in my opinion, more to do with a psychological roadblock that often prevents traders from doing what's best for them, especially right before a reverse split. I do want to first say this is not financial advice. Always trade invest at your own risk. Always do your own research. But I do want to make a suggestion for consideration for you to think about. So I'm going to throw out an example. Charles Payne buys AMC at $40. He came out and said this, and he spent $50,000. So right now, let's just say, his account basically with AMC at $5. It shows he's down about $45,000. So it's going to show his losses here, right? So he's going to think, well, I can't sell it because I'm down, right? But what if he sold it and he bought it back right away? Well, what would happen is he would have the same exact number of shares. The only difference is, assuming he bought at $5, his average cost would obviously be much lower. So we're talking about 800% lower average cost, right? But then if he sells, he loses the money, right? Wrong. It's an illusion. You've already lost the money, right? So especially when we're looking at a situation with a reverse split, and I'm doing this video because I think the most imperative thing moving forward is, what is your average cost? Because if we're looking at a 10 for 1 reverse split, if your average cost is $40, AMC is going to have to reach $400 just for you to break even. So if your average cost is $5, AMC has to hit $50 for you to break even. And now you can do the math with the same amount of shares, X, whatever X is in your particular case, and determine the money you would make once the price gets to 40 with an average cost of $5. Of course, the same theory applies to APE, right? But this psychological barrier tells us, hey man, I can't sell because if I sell this little number down here on my screen, and I call it the matrix, we all, I can't sell because then that money is gone. But the reality is that money is already gone, right? You're holding for X amount anyways. Looking at a 10 for 1 reverse split, the most important thing, in my opinion, is to get your average cost as low as possible, right? So just something for you to think about, food for thought. As I said, or may not have said, forgive me, I'm not feeling real well today. Have it for a bit, but keep in mind that your average cost is your biggest obstacle. Now, I'm thinking the vote is likely going to be in favor of yes for the reverse split. And, simply because they have come out and said, if, the vote is no, APE will not be converted either. So that means, 50% of APE's money would never be part of the short squeeze. Obviously, would that hurt AMC fundamentally? It certainly appears so, but however, that's really not the point here. The point is getting your average cost as low as possible. So if you're already holding for X amount, you're still going to hold for X amount. You're just going to have a lower average cost. And I probably should have went ahead and done the math on what the difference would be. But I can tell you, in my case, in my clients' cases, anyone's cases where I'm looking at the situation, it certainly appears far more beneficial. So, do what works for you. All I can tell you is, when you're looking at your average cost rising 1,000%, it's the biggest obstacle. It's a problem. If your average cost is 50, AMC is going to have to hit $500 for you to break even. So again, if you can get past this psychological barrier and kind of what I call breaking the matrix, doing something that seems, perhaps foolish at first, kind of scary thing to do, right? It's technically recognizing a huge loss. But if you're buying the security back anyways, and your average cost is 800% lower, let's say you do the same thing with Ape and you get your average cost 400% lower. You now have a 1,200% advantage over everyone who's diamond handing their shares since up here, right? So, do what works best for you. I just wanted to get this video out because I think a lot of people feel stuck, and I've heard this a lot. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I can't sell. I'm stuck. I'm stuck losing. And so just write it down, look at it, get out a calculator, do the math, see what works for you. I'm just trying to think of the very best way for you to navigate this situation. And one thing I want to say is, I mentioned buying Ape is better because, it's cheaper, right? And it's going to be converted into AMC. However, there's no guarantee that will happen. Hypothetically, the vote could be no. There's no reverse split. There's no conversion. You buy AMC or you buy Ape, more Ape instead of AMC, or maybe some people sell their AMC and buy Ape. I don't know what you're doing out there, but the point is, if it comes down, if worse comes to worse, and that doesn't happen, Ape is likely going back down, probably even lower, probably to 50 cents, because its designed purpose is now rendered useless, and there's no point for all this FOMO buying leading up to March 14th. And maybe some of you are buying extra Ape just to ride up until the decision, and you'll dump X amount with some recognized gains, right? To gains always lower risk in a sense if you want to look at it that way. But I think that's pretty much all I have for now. Just food for thought. Like I said, I encourage you to get a piece of paper, write it down, and do the math. And again, when we're looking at a 1,000% increase on our average cost, that's most certainly our biggest obstacle moving forward. I'm not suggesting that anyone should sell AMC for Ape. I did suggest buying Ape makes more sense, and it does, assuming that the reverse split and the conversion is going to happen. So, just something to think about, food for thought. Please share. If you share, it helps people. That's why I do these videos. As I've said in the past, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't particularly, get on these videos, and it's not a time for me to joke and show my, funny side and all these things. It's a serious topic, and that stuff is for another time. When I do this, it's just, with everyone in mind, of what's going to help you do better. And, if you would share, it would at least give people the opportunity to consider this, because I can tell you, when you do the math, you'll see if you're holding for X amount anyways, it makes a hell of a lot more sense. So that's all I ask is like the video, share the video, not because I care about views or shares and all these things, because I truly do not. The reason I started this is because I want to help people, and the reason I'll continue doing this is because I want to help people, not particularly because being a YouTuber or whatever you want to call it is something I love to do, right? I like to help people. I think we're all up against enough obstacles. Sorry about that. I think we're all up. King Griffin put a spell on me there. I think we're all up against enough obstacles. So good luck. Feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. But please just do the math first before you let me know what you think. And I guess that's it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.